If you're not using this animation in your videos, it's literally over for you. The biggest TV channels and documentaries use this trick, and it takes seconds to apply once you have a template. I use it in a way that not even production companies do, and it makes my edits look iconic. But if you don't use it right, it's gonna look cheap. So you need to know some major key things before making this animation effective. This video is a full guide on lower thirds. 3 different animations taking you from beginner to expert. Starting up with beginner. First of all, you need to understand, why do we use lower thirds? You can charge more money, you will be editing faster, and your edits will be more memorable because the information is easier to process. It's all gonna make sense, just stick until the end. Now we're gonna move on to the first of 3 short tutorials. This lower third is the simplest out of all of them. We're just gonna create a new shape layer, do a mask, fast box blur, the text on top Roman, the text below thin, and I've scaled it down to match the size of this one, so it follows design principles. Then I'm going to make a different color, the top text. Doing this looks like absolute dog shit. Animate, opacity, turn it to 0, range selector, start 0 and 100. Looks like trash. Don't use the Premiere Pro version. I'm gonna delete this because it makes me so mad. And I'm gonna use Text Evo. Check the link below for Text Evo. It's a free plugin. All you need is this strength. You need to do the keyframe for it. Transform, position, rotation, tracking, opacity 0. You have the smoothest text animation ever. Moving on to intermediate. First of all, making lower thirds effective. Glory to God, I've been able to work with huge clients and create some wild visuals consistently while getting millions of views. If you want to learn how I build a style, click the link below to join my new product where I gave away everything. You get a crash course that takes you to expert, all my presets. It's probably in pre-sale when you're watching this, so just get it now with one payment, half price. Now we will introduce a new design, export an alpha template, and add sound effects. We are gonna combine 3 into 1. Those 3 and also this. It looks terrible, but the basis of this is pretty solid. We're gonna make it very similar to this one. Copy the shape layer, text is going to be the same, and just create a square and drag the path. You duplicate it, and on this duplicated layer, add a stroke, create a new adjustment layer, fast box blur to it, grab the pick whip for the track matte, and pick whip to the BG. But we can also stylize this background, so we can create a new shape layer. Bringing them above the background outline and then parent whipping them to the background creates this cool effect. I want the text to be inside the background so that when I do this, the text has bounds. And this will animate the scale in. Scale 0 at the start. And then obviously if you want to animate it out, copy the first keyframes, paste them back here. You notice how we have used the same font as we've used here and the same color palette. But if you look at both of these, you can see that they're quite similar. So this is visual branding. You use the same colors and the same font. In the lower third case, this is all you need to know. Also, we're going to export an alpha template. So hide the raw video, hide the text, Control M. For the best quality, we choose lossless with alpha. But the only problem is that in this case, we have adjustment layers behind the lower third. Nothing is blurred and it just looks weird. This works on certain styles. On this one specifically, it does not. I'm going to show you how to fix this in the next level. And to complete the intermediate part, we're going to add sound effects. Full sound effects guide is up on my channel already. We can add a swoosh animation, keyboard typing, swoosh to -4. Wind the mechanism 200% speed, nest it, and on top of all of that, we add a keyboard typing sound effect. I'll copy this and put it in reverse in the middle of the keyframe. Moving on to expert, taking it to the next level. This last point is the final piece of the puzzle, which turns you into a creative director and copywriter. We're gonna make the toughest lower third animation, learn more about what you should write in your lower thirds, go through expert level motion design techniques, and we're gonna export a customizable template with project files. All of this connects it all together and you become irreplaceable. We're gonna make an animation very similar to the one I'm gonna show you right now. It's also going to be quite similar to these two. We cannot just use After Effects. We're going to need Adobe Illustrator. I will be using this star specifically. I'll turn the opacity down a bit. Make sure I save the file because Illustrator is always crashing on me. I'll create a new ellipse. So that's why we save in Illustrator. Anchor point here. For me to export into Overlord, I need to have the Overlord app open. Make sure I have the layer selected and then click Push Selection. I'll create a nice outline for them. I'm going to switch to Advanced 3D. I'll make the null 3D. Then as an animation, they're all going to start at 0 and they're going to scale in. I'll add a little flicker because this is geeking out too much. And now it's going to spin forever. And in the middle of all of this, I will add a ball. It's going to be a circle. this one is spinning that way, and the other group is going to spin the other way. On this, I want it to be a specific blending mode. Because After Effects does not allow applying effects to 3D layers in Advanced 3D, I'll need to make duplicates for every single one. Duplicate, nest. It's a weird workaround, but we really have no choice. Now that we've done this lower third, we can just quickly create a shape layer. Then we combine these together. Parent whip it to the LT design. It's gonna animate as everything comes in. And then the animation will slowly ease in. That's how it looks. Professional level lower third. Really, there's nothing wrong with using this or using the intermediate animation because they get the job done. Now let me teach you about writing the text inside of the lower third. I'll make it easy for you and I'll show you how to do it with ChatGPT. Join motion right. Help me summarize this in a way that clicks with more viewers and also compacts the information more. So it gives you different ways of writing this specific text. If you want an example, take a look at this clip.
Trading is the best leverage in life because it's a very hard way to make money for beginners.
So you're not always going to take exactly what your client says and put it on screen. Use ChatGPT, a sentence that's easy to summarize, just do it with your own head. And let me show you how to export a template for this lower third. Delete the raw footage. You delete it so that when you do file, dependencies, collect files, it's gonna collect shape layers without your A roll. Number 3 in my case is selected here, and then we collect files for the selected comps. You see it says 2 GB, it's because I have this file here. If I were to remove it, it would not even say a file size. Take this folder and just import it into your projects. You're gonna have your comp here. You can go and edit the text to write something else for a completely different animation. You better have enjoyed this video. Leave a like. Make sure you join my new course. You're literally not gonna get it this cheap ever again.